it's Liz Yuille from Old Stables Crafts. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. Oh, I've just realised I haven't put my light on. Let's try that, might be a little better. It's actually reasonably sunny here today, which is novel, bearing in mind it's August this year. Anyway, this is the project that we are making today, or an alternative version to it. This is using the Hollyberry Happiness stamp set, which is in the annual catalogue, so is already available. It does go with a punch, which I meant to bring out and I haven't. Bear with. Punch. So yes, so it goes with this punch, which cuts out both of the hollies, the berries, and this bow. So if you're looking for something to help with that and you don't want to fussy cut, then that's useful to know. I'm just trying to find the page in the catalogue. I do this every time. One day I'll actually sort this out in advance. So here is the page in the catalogue. It's page 118. And as I say, it's available now. So if you're looking to start your Christmas cards already and can't wait until September, and why should you? This is the one of the ones to go for. So today's project is a variation of this. I'm not actually using this punch. I'm only using one punch, which we'll come on to. So let's get started. This is Crumb Cake card, real red card, Whisper White. And then the inks on this are soft suede for the outside, Crumb Cake for the inside, and then real red for the red, and then linen thread for the linen thread. Usual dimensions, and as ever, those are all going to be in the associated blog post, which is down there. So this is an A6 card, half of A4 cut in half, scored down the middle. The red is 5 5/8 by 3 7/8, or 14 1/4 by 9 3/4, and the white is 5 1/2 by 3 3/4, which is 14 by 9 1/2 centimetres. And then it's just a scrap for the greeting. I'm going to change it up, and I'm going to use more realistic holly colours for this. So I will be using on Very Vanilla this time, with a garden green matte, and then thick Very Vanilla for the card base. I am using garden green ink, old olive ink, and real red ink. So let us get started. I'm going to bring in a scrap because I will end up going off the card as I'm stamping it. Sorry, there was a bit of a mark on the back of that, so don't like marks on the back of my stamps, on the back of my card rather. So this is a two-step, well technically three-step stamp. I'm going to start with the outline of the hollies, of the holly leaves. Apparently I don't have any language today. Garden green, and just ink that up, light tapping, as ever, just gentle tapping, and then I'm just towards the top of the card. I'm just going to stamp. Now, I got the inspiration for this from a Pinterest pin from a girl in Australia, and her name is eluding me at the moment. Let me check. Is it even on her? Gail Starr, and she was a star to do this. She's an Australian demo, and I think this is one she did last year because this was in last year's seasonal catalogue, but it has carried over to the annual catalogue this year, so hence we can use it now. Olive oil, old olive, and this is the solid holly leaf image. And as ever, I'm going to tell you guys off because you're in my way again. So let me see if I can line this up reasonably well without being over the stamp. Yeah, reasonably. I've recently re-inked this ink pad and it is quite juicy. So it's coming out quite dark initially. It should fade back a bit once it rise, but I'm quite happy with it being a little dark if that's what needs to happen, because holly actually is very dark. Certainly the holly we've got near us is very dark. Right, just clean that off and close that and get rid of that, and then bring in my holly berries. Now the holly berries are an interesting one to try and line up, and frankly I'm just not bothering. I'm just going to use them because I'm not convinced they actually do line up fully. So just ink those up with the real red and just sort of have them filling in holes really, or gaps. So I don't think they're meant to actually line up with the a specific leaf. I think they are just there to fill a gap, because they do fill the gaps quite nicely. So I think that's what they're meant to do. And of course these ones are going to be right off the edge. So let's just pop one on the edge. So that's that. I need to keep out the real red because I need to stamp our sentiment, which will be in, oops, real red. Pop that away and pull out the Christmas wishes from across the miles. And it's something that we do actually have to bear in mind. Dare I say that if you're posting overseas, you need to start thinking about doing so sooner rather than later. I don't know when the last postal date is to Australia and places like that, but it's going to be frighteningly soon. So yes, if you've got friends and relatives a long way away, sooner rather than later is the time to start your Christmas cards. And it is frightening. It is August. It may not seem like it, but it is only August. But we've got to get cracking. So yeah, Christmas wishes from across the miles. Right, I'm going to use my triple banner punch to sort the end out because I want it as an arrow. So I am going to, that won't be an arrow, that will be an arrow. If I had a brain I'd be dangerous sometimes, wouldn't I? Right, so pulling this through from the front to the back, just line it up kind of where you want it. I'll just try and make sure that it's square at the front side. Sorry, I'm probably off camera. So yeah, oh, and I've squished, as in moved. That looks about right. Possibly a little bit further up there. Oh, super duper. So that's that. And then I'm bringing in my handheld 1/8 circle punch, and just in the corner punch a little hole, comme ça, and start building the card. So let's fold that, and as ever, fold towards the mountain, then fold up. Right, and linen thread. Actually, should I use that? No, I might use, I know it's white, but no, I'm going to use the old olive baker's twine this time, because I can. So I'm going to need quite a bit, and I'm just going to straighten out the kinks because I don't like kinks, and I'm just going to do that by running it through the bone folder, which just takes the worst of the kinks out. It won't do it completely, but it'll take out the worst, and then feed that through my tag. And I'm just going to sort of place my, actually, do I want it that way up or do I want it the, no, I did want it that way up. It's sad, isn't it? Right, so I'm going to just hold that kind of where I want it so that I know I've got roughly the right amount of end, and then wrap this round 3 times. And although the baker's twine is white with old olive, it's, because it's broken up with the old olive, it's fine. It doesn't shout white off the card. At least I don't think it does. And it's my card, so that's all that matters really. I'm just going to take the kink out of that a bit more, and out of that a bit more, because those are the ends that really matter. And then, now, here we go. Of course, now I've got it all curly-whirly, it's being all curly-whirly. So I'm going to start by tying a knot, actually, says she who was about to launch into a bow, just so that I can get a decent amount of tension on the baker's twine. And then I will tie it into a bow. That way, that way. And then it doesn't matter if the bow becomes undone, it's not going to all fall to pieces. And you really don't want your card to fall to pieces, because that's just not good. And then snips, trim those ends, and that's about right. A couple of dimensionals just on the back there. So I hope you are beginning to think about what you're going to do for your Christmas projects. I did the haul unboxing about a week ago now. It's a little difficult for me to remember because I do things in advance. So sometimes I forget when I've done posted things to go live. I'm going to stick this on with fast fuse because of the baker's twine, just helps keep it all in place. So yes, I hope that gave you a few ideas about what's in the catalogue. Those of you who are on my VIP list will have one. If it's not with you yet, it will be very soon. By the time you see this, it will certainly be in the post. So you can start browsing through, and then remember on the 1st of September you can put your order in, which will be lovely. But remember that you can be using your bonus days, any bonus days vouchers that you got in July, you need to use in August or you'll lose them. And those can't be used towards the starter kit, but if you've got a big order for your Christmas requirements, the starter kit is the way to go, because you get more for your money, because you get £130 of product for £99. And obviously I would love you to join my team, so that would be lovely. But otherwise, just pop over to my store and get anything you need, and that would be lovely too, and then you become a VIP. And it would be lovely to welcome you. So there you are, two similar but different. Very simple, very quick, which for Christmas we kind of need a lot of simple quick, and then just a few that are more complicated for our nearest and dearest. But I hope you enjoyed that. If you did, give it a thumbs up. If you have yet to subscribe, please do hit the little subscribe button, which is just down there in the corner. It would be lovely to have you as a subscriber. If you've got any queries, do leave a comment. I always reply to comments. I try to do it the day you leave the comment, but sometimes I need to leave it a day or two. But I will always reply, and if you've got any questions, that's always a good way to get hold of me. Otherwise, drop me an email. My contact details are on my blog, and the post is the associated post is linked below, so you can always jump over there and send me an email. People do, and I reply to those too. So yes, any queries, any comments, I would love to hear from you. And if you want to buy anything, please use my online store. I would love to welcome you to my VIP club. The Hostess Code, which would be great if you could use that, is linked below, is shown below. So that's always good, and you get a share of the Hostess rewards. Unless your order is over £150, in which case, A, why aren't you signing up and getting the starter kit? But B, you become your own hostess, so you get to choose what you get. Yeah, so I hope to hear from you soon. Thanks a lot.